Well, I want to talk about military health needs now, and we've talked about some of this before. Back in 1998, I was invited to give a lecture to the continuing education requirements for the New York Medical Society in New York City. And they just said, don't use dead doctors don't lie. You can use any other title. So I came up with a medical mousetrap as the title of the presentation. It sold literally millions of that presentation, medical mousetrap. And I just had a couple of sentences there to deal with the Department of Veterans Affairs and the military. I said, you have two opportunities to give your life to your country, once on the field of battle and the other in the VA hospital. Well, the VA doctors there ran up the middle aisle, wound up their programs, threw them at me, cussed me out. Of course, this is all being recorded. This was sent to the Department of Veterans Affairs. Well, the next year, 1998 is when I did it, 1999, the next year, same event, there was a front-page story, New York Times. It said there's hundreds of thousands of minor errors made each year in the VA system in America, 3,000 of which are serious enough where the veteran has remained in the hospital for the rest of their life, 20 days, 20 months, 20 years, because they're unconscious or in a coma because of some botched medical procedure. And the medical doctors, now remember, this is the headlines on the front page of the New York Times, says medical doctors in the VA system kill, that's the word they use, kill 700 veterans each year in the VA system. The enemy on a field of battle in Afghanistan last year only killed 375 U.S. military personnel. Medical doctors in the VA killed twice as many veterans or military personnel as does the enemy. Well, now we have other issues, okay? Now we have other issues. They also looked at, and this is also a New York Times story, when you look at the surgeries in the VA system, there are 22 errors per surgery. This is based on hidden cameras research, also big newspaper stories, and there's thousands of errors per year per physician in the VA system. Well, when veterans come back from the war zone, they have PTSD, which in people in civilian clothes is bipolar disease, same disease. The people who stay at home have lots of birth defects. So there's a higher rate of birth defects in military families than there is in non-military families. And there's big movement to go back to the days of the Vietnam War when we were using many, many chemicals to defoliate jungles so we could see the enemy. That included Agent Orange, and there's a lot of finger pointing towards Agent Orange. But when you look at the veterans, they also have a much higher rate of arthritis, diabetes, high blood pressure, cardiovascular disease of all kinds. And so we want you, as a family member, somebody who has a loved one in the military, whether they're locally here in the U.S. or they're actually dispersed around the world, particularly in a war zone, instead of knitting them a nice pair of socks with love or sending them a box of candy or something like that, what I want you to do is send them the 90 essential nutrients, 16 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 essential amino acids, 3 essential fatty acids, and make sure that our men and women in uniform get the 90 essential nutrients. The government does not provide one vitamin or mineral, amino acid or fatty acid. Okay, they eat nothing but MREs, meals ready to eat, which are just calories, and then they get chiclets, candy and chewing gum in their MREs, and also they don't get any vitamins and minerals. So when they come back, they are a mess, mentally and physically, because all tissues of the body, all systems of the body, all organs of the body, including the brain, the heart, the lungs, the liver, the kidneys, muscles, joints, need 90 essential nutrients, 16 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 essential amino acids, 3 essential fatty acids. Of course, we have secret sauces for diabetes, high blood pressure, cardiovascular disease, lupus, arthritis, and so on, low thyroid. So these are the sort of things we're going to be able to help our military personnel with. And, of course, we do a lot of, Youngevity, we do a lot of the wounded warrior stuff. But in addition to that, in addition to giving percentages of money of sales to the wounded warriors programs, which are fabulous, we also want people to begin to send people in the war zone the 90 essential nutrients. If nothing else, a healthy brain and heart pack. Send them some of the Rebound. It has 100 nutrients in it. Our sports drink has 100 nutrients in it. Gatorade has 2. Powerade has 6. Let's see here. If you love somebody, you're going to send them 2, 6, or 100 nutrients. All right? And so this is a no-brainer. And we want you to really pay attention to this, and particularly the people who stay at home. Let's say that they're a family on a military base, and they're a couple, and, of course, they're going to have babies. And then you have women who stay behind, and the husband comes home, and they have a great weekend, and she gets pregnant. And if she's not taking the 90 essential nutrients, there's going to be a high risk of having a baby with a birth defect. The birth defect rate in military personnel families is extremely high compared to the general public. And so I urge you to offset this by making sure they're getting the 90 essential nutrients before conception. That means they have to be on it all the time so that if a conception does occur, the baby's covered. I mean, every birth defect you can name and 10 times as many you can't have been eliminated in animals 100 years ago by nutritional supplementation. I've been doing this in my patients and my associates and my customers for the last 36 years. There's no reason why we can't do this for military personnel, but we're all going to have to be thinking about this consciously. And I'm beginning to work with more and more organizations who want to do great things for our military personnel. And of course, they're doing social things and socializing with them, which is a great thing, but they need some biochemistry. They need the 90 essential nutrients. We do have detoxifying programs. We have 5-day cleanses, but we also have things they can take every day for the rest of their life. And if they do have chemicals stored in their body, fat and muscles and liver and so forth, these programs will help them reduce the levels and, in fact, in many cases, totally eliminate these things and reduce the risk of birth defects. So contact your Youngevity associate today. Ask for the book Epigenetics, The Death of Genetic Disease Transmission, the DVD, Somebody Needs to Go to Jail, and the CD, Public Enemy #1. And let's together save our military personnel and our veterans with nutrition. Okay? The government doesn't do it. We got to do it. And we'll be back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie after these messages.
When those aches and pains in your knees, elbows, hands, shoulders, and back crop up, reach for Youngevity's CM Cream. Put CM Cream on a Q-tip and put it in your ear canal for relief from headaches and sinus pressure. A topical temporary relief from minor aches and pains of muscles and joints associated with arthritis, strains, sprains, and simple backaches. Why take aspirin or non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs that can cause stomach bleeding and liver damage? Just apply CM Cream liberally to the affected areas, and within 20 minutes or so, you'll have relief from those nagging minor aches and pains. You'll feel better for up to 4 to 5 hours. So the next time you have achy joints or muscles, do what I do. Reach for CM Cream for relief. And for systemic relief, reach for CM Plus capsules. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local Youngevity associate. And don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
Numerous studies have shown the link between the intake of antioxidants and disease prevention. Foods and supplements are measured in an ORAC scale. ORAC is an acronym for Oxygen Radical Absorption Capacity. In other words, the ability to remove disease-causing free radicals from the human body. Youngevity's Cell Shield RTQ has an ORAC value of 15,800 points per serving. Cell Shield RTQ contains resveratrol, known as an anti-aging compound, turmeric, known for promoting healthy digestion, brain function, immune system, and cellular longevity. Quercetin, a flavonoid, is known for promoting healthy blood sugar metabolism and healthy lung and cardiovascular function. Remove free radicals from your body with Cell Shield RTQ from Youngevity. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local Youngevity associate. And don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
Okay, Doug, what pearls of wisdom do you have for us?
Well, this is about medical mistakes. A Fox News story here headlined, "Major surgical mistakes still happen in the U.S." And I thought, as you would say, duh. I mean, it's like, where have they been?
Well, that's worth a flourish.
Yeah, really.
Thank you, sir.
Yep, they say major errors during surgery are rare, and I would disagree with that. But preventable mistakes still happen in hospitals. They say about 1 out of every 100,000 surgeries. And if I remember correctly, I think the last time I saw anything on that, there's about 12 million surgeries a year. They say doctors make a wrong site error. They operate on the wrong side of the person's body, or sometimes even the wrong person. They say 1 out of every 10,000 procedures, doctors leave something behind, such as a medical sponge. And they go on to say poor communication among medical staff is the root cause of many of these mistakes. This was all published online in the journal JAMA's Surgery. They say it's still unclear how to prevent these errors. Well, I would say don't go to the doctor, and you won't have that happen to you.
Exactly.
Experts call these never events because they should never happen. And they say the never events are very rare, according to the study's lead researcher, and I would disagree with that as well. Suzanne Hempel, co-director of the Evidence-Based Practice Center at the RAND Corporation, said she and her colleagues conducted a review of U.S. Veterans Affairs National Center of Patient Safety to, quote, evaluate the state of evidence 10 years after the introduction of the Universal Protocol, a concerted effort to improve surgical safety. Well, that was a failure. They say in review, the researchers looked at 138 studies published from 2004 to 2014 that reported on at least one of three types of never events: wrong site surgery, leaving an item behind in a person during surgery, or surgical fires. And that's the first time I heard about surgical fires. I don't know if that's the patient catching on fire.
Yeah, sometimes the patient catches on fire because of the oxygen and spilled alcohol and stuff like that. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Now, there was a story of that girl that got burned in the hospital because she was using that hand sanitizer that was alcohol-based. And they say frequency of these events varied depending on the type of surgery being done and the data collection methods used. For instance, according to the study of an eye doctor claims and state reporting records, there were 0.5 wrong site events per 10,000 procedures. And according to a survey of eye doctors who operate on people with lazy eye, they were about 4 wrong site events per 10,000 procedures. They tried to figure out how often fires occurred during surgery, but they didn't have enough data to determine that. They say together the studies show that there is usually a unique set of factors and circumstances behind a never event. Inadequate communication between healthcare providers was a frequent contributing factor, in particular for wrong site surgery. Included miscommunication among staff, missing information that should have been available, and surgical team members not speaking up or not listening to suspicions. Researchers called for better tracking of these never events. Yeah. It's just goofy, that whole thing.
Yeah, well, one of the things that Lucien Lepay, head of the Department of Public Health at Harvard Medical School, said in 1990, he looked at thousands of medical doctors. He took blood samples randomly without letting them know. He just shows up and took a blood sample, and they all, willingly gave it. But what he found was, Doug, that 52% of medical doctors on duty, everything from surgery to emergency rooms to clinics, 52% are intoxicated on alcohol, street drugs, and prescription drugs. And I propose that every doctor has to pass a breathalyzer test and a urine test, screening test for drugs before they let them into the facility, certainly before they let them touch a patient with a knife. And that'll stop a lot of this stuff. They don't know their left hand from the right hand when they're drunk on alcohol, street drugs, and prescription drugs. But thank you for bringing that up. We'll be back with more Truth, Justice, and the Youngevity Way on Dead Doctors Don't Lie for these messages.
Imagine a rich, decadent chocolate that's actually good for you. Youngevity's Triple Treat chocolate is just that, an antioxidant-rich dark chocolate complete with probiotics to aid in proper digestion. This all-natural product contains no preservatives, and for those with dietary restrictions, it's gluten-free, dairy-free, glycemic-friendly, and kosher certified. Not only does Triple Treat dark chocolate taste fantastic, it contains super antioxidant blueberries to absorb free radicals with an ORAC value of 16,936 per piece. Triple Treat chocolate also contains a proprietary blend of probiotics with over 500 million live healthy bacteria per 8 grams at the time of manufacture, with 80% reaching the intestines, which is much more than most live culture yogurts. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local Youngevity associate, and don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
Through his research as a veterinarian, Dr. Joel Wallach discovered that most health problems afflicting livestock can be prevented and even reversed. Many of these same health challenges also occur in humans. These too can be prevented and reversed. Doc's original formula, called the pig arthritis formula, alleviated all arthritis symptoms in animals. The same basic formula has been developed for humans, called the Pig Pack, which includes plant-derived minerals, a multiple vitamin complex, glucogel, and EFAs. Add to that Youngevity's Osteo FX Plus, a proprietary blend of liquid calcium, magnesium, and glucosamine. Now you have the Pig Pack Plus to make up the 90 essential nutrients Dr. Wallach has identified as necessary for sustained good health and longevity. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local Youngevity associate, and don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
You've listened to physician and veterinarian Dr. Joel Wallach help many people on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie talk radio program. You've also heard hundreds of people tell how Dr. Wallach and Youngevity products have changed their lives. If you're now convinced that Dr. Wallach is onto something and you want to try Youngevity's premium quality products for yourself, we can connect you with a distributor that serves your local area. Simply call our special helpline voicemail at 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call right now and leave your name, telephone number, or email address, and we'll see to it that the right person contacts you shortly. Remember, the phone number, 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call now to change your life. That's 313-444-3463.
Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
Let's head to Texas, and Lawrence, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Lawrence, you're on the air.
Yes, Dr. Wallach. I got a few little things here. I'm going to try to do it real quick. My mother had gout, and I'm thinking it left her big toe, but it went down and went up into her hip. She got to the point where she couldn't hardly walk. We got to let her use a walker. So,
okay. Okay, let me ask you something here real quick here, Lawrence. Did a doctor diagnose her with gout with a blood test?
Well, yeah. Well, actually, what happened, I had to beg him for a blood test. Mm-hmm. And when they gave the blood test, it was 9.7 on a 2.6.
Yeah, that's the uric acid. That's uric acid levels, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. What does your mom weigh?
My mother weighs right now she weighs probably about 160, about 5 feet, I would say 5 feet 160.
5 foot 1 inch, okay. Does she have any other issues? Does she have any respiratory problems like asthma, bronchitis, COPD? Does she have any skin problems, eczema, dermatitis, any belly problems?
Well, yes, she has some belly problems, and yes, she has the belly problems, and she have they diagnosed her. They said she has COPD.
Okay. All right. So, Shar, what would you do here for a lady, 165 pounds, 5 foot 1? Obviously, I'd say 60 pounds overweight. Okay, she should be at 5 foot 1. She should be 105 pounds, maybe. And she has belly issues. There's kind of a clue. And she also had a diagnosis by blood test of gout. Okay, and gout, of course, is something that is caused by the liver not being able to break down uric acid into harmless carbon compounds. And so what would you do for her? What kind of diet would you put her on, and what would you give her as a supplement program?
Well, first thing, she needs to get on a gluten-free diet because that's what caused the problem in the first place.
Okay, you got it.
And then she needs two, unfortunately, until she loses the weight, she needs 2 healthy brain and heart packs because the liver needs selenium.
There you go. And no fried foods and processed meats, no oils, no gluten. Exactly what Shar says, Lawrence. Give us a call every 2 weeks. Let us know how Mom's doing, and we'll throw in the weight loss program after 2-3 weeks. We'll be back after these messages.
You've listened to physician and veterinarian Dr. Joel Wallach help many people on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie talk radio program. You've also heard hundreds of people tell how Dr. Wallach and Youngevity products have changed their lives. If you're now convinced that Dr. Wallach is onto something and you want to try Youngevity's premium quality products for yourself, we can connect you with a distributor that serves your local area. Simply call our special helpline voicemail at 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call right now and leave your name, telephone number, or email address, and we'll see to it that the right person contacts you shortly. Remember, the phone number, 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call now to change your life. That's 313-444-3463.
Hi, this is Dr. Joel Wallach, your host of Dead Doctors Don't Lie. If you're interested in a colon cleanse, blood cleanse, liver cleanse, in the classical herbal way, you want to ask your Youngevity associate for Herbal Rainforest. Herbal Rainforest has 16 herbs, 16 cleansing herbs, classic cleansing herbs, and 77 plant minerals. That's right, and these are all organic. It doesn't get any better than that. In your busy day, and you're around all these toxins out there, in your workplace, on the way home, going to work, in your food, in the air, in the water, you need Herbal Rainforest. I guarantee you, it will give you a cleanse. You can control the dose. It's a liquid. It tastes good. It doesn't get any better than this. A colon that's happy makes you happy. Nothing better than a happy colon. Herbal Rainforest. Clean it out.
For more information on this product or others you've heard about on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie radio program, call your local Youngevity associate today. And don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
Greetings, everyone. Judy DeVilbus here. What do you think of when you hear the words tangy tangerine? Well, I think of like a sweet, tangy tasting something. Well, what I'm referring to is the Ultimate Tangy Tangerine. It's a fantastic product. It has everything you need, and a great benefit is it's very, very delicious. It's very easy to drink. I've suggested it even to youngsters. Even children like it. Even little guys. Even little girls. They come right into my office. Their parents can't get them to take those chewables, and besides that, they're not as good as Tangy Tangerine. And I give them a little taste of that, and you know something? They're pleased as punch. So, if it's good for a child and it tastes delicious, why not you? There's no excuse not to take a vitamin when it tastes as good as that does. So how about it? Tangy Tangerine should be the answer to all of your nutritional program problems.
For more information or to order, call your Youngevity distributor today. And don't forget to ask about Youngevity home-based business opportunities. Let's head to Delaware. And Leslie, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Well, Leslie, you're on the air.
Hi, Dr.
Hi.
Wallach. I have a son who's 10, and about 3 years ago, he had an MRI, and they noticed a small abnormality with his cerebellum. And the only linkage we could come up with is that his grandmother on his father's side had ataxia SCA7. He also developed within the last year in copresis. So I was wondering, how could your products benefit him? What kind of diet plan he should be on?
Okay, well, first of all, whoa, let's back up a little bit. Why did they take an MRI of his brain? Did he have symptoms? Was he dragging a leg or incoordinated? Or why did they take an MRI of his brain?
Well, first, doing homework, I noticed that he might need glasses. Well, we took him to the doctor, and he couldn't read the chart. And he was diagnosed with low vision. So we had to take him to another doctor that specialized in low vision patients. And that's how they kind of pulled together the link with his balance and coordination. He would stumble, he would trip. I remember.
Now, was this since he started walking as a 1 or 2 year old, or is this just recently?
Since he was a baby. We noticed some signs, but we didn't know what it was. Like he would walk on his toes. That type of thing. And some of the things we thought he would grow out of, as some kids do.
Let's stop there a minute again. Let's stop there again. Did anybody render a thought, this might be a mild case of cerebral palsy?
They say when they have abnormalities with their cerebellum, it could be that, or they could be ataxia, and his grandmom has ataxia.
Well, ataxia is a symptom. Yeah. Okay, hold on here, Leslie. Ataxia is a symptom. And this child was born this way. This is a very mild case of cerebral palsy. Okay, this is what's called a congenital event. Another term, a little harsher term, would be birth defect, but it's a congenital event. Mama, if you're the mother, you were missing some things when that part of the brain was forming in the 3rd to 7th week of pregnancy. Okay, do you remember when you started taking prenatal vitamins? Had you missed 1 or 2 cycles already, or?
I probably missed a few, but I was on prenatal vitamins. Yes.
Okay, but you missed a few cycles before you got on the prenatal vitamins.
I don't remember, actually.
Yeah.
I know I probably didn't take them every day, but I was regular with them.
Okay. But the question is, were you taking them before you got pregnant?
No, I was probably taking them once I learned I was pregnant.
Okay. All right. And so, this is a congenital event. Again, a harsher term would be birth defect. These things are not reversible at this time, but we can do some great things for this kid. So hang on. Char and I will be back. We'll give you a program for him. We're going to need to know his weight, if he has any skin problems, respiratory problems, that kind of stuff. We'll be back after these messages.
You've listened to physician and veterinarian Dr. Joel Wallach help many people on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie talk radio program. You've also heard hundreds of people tell how Dr. Wallach and Youngevity products have changed their lives. If you're now convinced that Dr. Wallach is onto something and you want to try Youngevity's premium quality products for yourself, we can connect you with a distributor that serves your local area. Simply call our special helpline voicemail at 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call right now and leave your name, telephone number, or email address, and we'll see to it that the right person contacts you shortly. Remember, the phone number, 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call now to change your life. That's 313-444-3463.
I am Judy DeVilbus. Here I am speaking to you again. I just wanted to tell you that recently I started drinking the Whey Shakes again, the chocolate Whey Shake. And you need to remember, the Whey Shake isn't just for losing weight. It's a fantastic place to get your great protein. And if you're trying to gain weight, you can take it along with your meals. And the best part is, if you want to just have a great protein shake, do like I do. Put it over ice, stir it up, and you can sip on it for 20 minutes to an hour. I do it every single day. I absolutely love it. You need to get back to it too. It's really good for you. And it makes not fat, but it makes muscle after you work out. And you can also mix it up in a blender with an egg, and you have the most incredible health protein shake. Or mix it with a little water, stir it up, and you have a little pudding. And who doesn't like pudding?
For more information or to order, call your Youngevity distributor today. And don't forget to ask about Youngevity home-based business opportunities.
Okay, Doug, let's go right back to Delaware and Leslie. And how much does this 10-year-old son weigh, Leslie? Is he slim or overweight or what?
He's very slim. He's about 5 foot, and he's 75 pounds.
Okay, thank you. All right. Does he have any history of skin problems, any eczema, dermatitis, or psoriasis?
He, when he was born, the doctor said that he had a mild case of eczema.
Okay. And then what about respiratory problems? Any asthma, bronchitis?
No.
Okay, good. And does he have any history of bowel problems? Any constipation, any diarrhea, appendix out, any complaints about belly pain?
Constipation, which started about a little over a year, this time last year, a little over a year.
Okay. All right. Okay, so, Sean, what did you do for him? He's got this congenital event. He's got a mild case of cerebral palsy. And we're going to increase this child's function and so forth. We're going to help him with his ataxia a little bit. I have to see MRIs myself, the results of the radiologist, his comments, before I can tell you how much improvement you can expect in the ataxia, which is wobbling around like a drunk sailor to various degrees. But the eczema is an easy thing. The constipation is an easy thing. What's the basic underlying problem here, Shar?
It's definitely a gluten intolerance. No question about it.
And gluten, of course, affects the ability to absorb nutrients. And so it's not unusual for people to have multiples of problems. And I'm sure, Leslie, you might have a gluten intolerance too because it's passed on to these children. So do you have a history of skin problems or respiratory problems or constipation or diarrhea yourself? Hello, Leslie?
Yes.
Is that a yes?
Can you hear me?
Yes, okay.
Yes,
no, I didn't hear.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you had the problems too. And if you have any brothers and sisters, they're going to have the problems because your mama passed it on to you and your siblings. And any nieces and nephews from your sisters on your mama's side, they're going to have the same risk that your child has. But remember, this mild case of cerebral palsy occurred at the 3rd to 7th week of pregnancy when the cerebellum was forming, and you were missing something. It's not unusual to have malabsorption when you have a gluten intolerance because you lose a percentage of the lining of your intestine. The villi shrink and go away, and so you might have as much as 85% loss of absorption efficiency. So you need to be gluten-free. Your son needs to be gluten-free. Everybody living in the house, man, mother-in-law, grandma, dog, cat, bird, fish, renters, anybody in there has got to be gluten-free so that you don't get cross-contamination to this child from food preparation services, the laundry, the couch, everybody watches TV, feeding the dog, feeding the cat, all this stuff has got to be cleaned up. And so at 75 pounds, what would you give this little boy, Shar?
I give him a healthy brain and heart pack.
Perfect. One healthy brain and heart pack. I'd also give him, what would you give him for the metabolism of the brain?
for the metabolism of the brain.
Yeah, how about D something?
De-stress.
There you go, de-stress. Okay, so yeah, I'd give them 3 de-stress twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. 1 healthy brain and heart pack per month. And so you can divide that in half, give them half a dose twice a day. And clean up the diet in yourself and everybody else in the household, and your siblings on your from your mama's side, her siblings, all the kids, nieces, and nephews of your sisters and so forth need to be gluten-free, no wheat, barley, rye, and oats, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils. This is going to be a lifetime thing. Okay, this is going to be a lifetime thing if they want to add 25 to 50 years of their life. If they don't mind being miserable and going to doctors all the time for 3, 4, 5, 8, 10 diseases. And Char, you've seen people with a lot of disease when they had gluten intolerance. What was the top one that had the most diseases you've ever seen?
There was a young lady in Canada that had 22 diagnosed diseases.
Yep, and all because she had a basic underlying factor of gluten intolerance, and her absorptive capacity was way down. And all the diseases she had were nutritional deficiency diseases, and Sharp picked it up right away. Okay, give us a call every couple of weeks, Leslie, and let us know how your son is doing. Let us know how you're doing, and your siblings, and your nieces and nephews, aunties, if they're still alive, and so forth. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
Let's head to Atlanta, Georgia, and Shola, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Okay, Shola, you're on the air.
Good afternoon.
Yes, hello. Yes, hello. It's actually my aunt, and she's calling from me. I had called 2 days ago and spoken to someone, a substitute of yours. I am a lupus patient, and he gave me some of your supplements to use. He even put me on a 3-day cleanse.
Okay, well, let's stop a minute. I don't even know what your problem is. You got to go back and tell me what your problem is.
Okay, I'm a lupus patient.
A lupus patient. Okay, lupus. Okay. And how old are you? How old are you?
27.
27, okay. And do you have the typical rosacea on your face, your cheeks and nose?
Yes, I did have that, yes.
Okay, well, you did, so you've already seen some benefit.
It went and became something else. I had my kidney almost failed, and I have intracranial pressure, too, from the prednisone that my doctor put me on.
Mm-hmm.
So I spoke to one of your substitutes 2 days ago, and he put me on your 3-day cleanse.
Well, it probably wouldn't have been a substitute a couple of days ago. It was probably me. Okay, now let's back up again. How much do you weigh?
136.
136. Okay. Well, I'm going to we only have a little bit of time here, so I want to give you maximum benefit. So here's what I'm going to do. Okay. You need to clean up your diet. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten. Everybody in your household's got to do the same, including the dog and the cat and the bird and the fish, mom, dad, brothers and sisters, spouse, man. Everybody in the household's got to be gluten-free. No wheat, no barley, rye, no oats. And Char, what would you do for a lupus patient? What would you give her 136 pounds?
I'd give her the healthy brain and heart pack, too.
Okay, very good. What would you do for the cartilage and ligament and tendon and muscle problems?
I'd give her the glucogel.
Perfect. Because there is the selenium in the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. I'd get her an extra bottle of selenium so she could take 3 selenium twice a day. 1 bottle comes with the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. You divide the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack in half, a half of dose twice a day. And as Char said, you also need to have the glucogel, which is going to support and promote maintenance, repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, all the things that are afflicted by a gluten intolerance and a lack of minerals, which you have a difficult time absorbing when you have these changes in your intestines. And again, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten. And let's see here, for discomfort and pain, with that one, you're going to get the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, but I would also get 2 bottles of the CM cream. I would get the trauma oil, add 6 drops of trauma oil to a teaspoon of the CM cream, apply that to any joint or muscle or tendon or ligament that has discomfort or pain or noise, and you're going to get relief in 10, 20, 30 minutes, and the relief will last up to 5 hours, so you may have to do it 2-3 times a day to get maximum pain relief, but it's imperative to be gluten-free, and again, you're going to 1 Healthy Brain and Heart Pack because your body weight's low, and so I would have you take a tablespoon, 1/2 ounce of the OsteoFX Plus twice a day, 1 scoop of the Beyond Tangerine 2.0 at breakfast and dinner, 3 of the EFA Pluses at breakfast, and 3 of the EFAs at dinner time. and then you're going to get a bottle of selenium, so that'll give you 2 bottles of selenium because one comes with the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. So that would be 3 selenium twice a day. And then call us every couple of weeks, Shola, and let us know how you're doing, and we'll walk you through this. But that's the basic program you need, and if you have to make adjustments from what I originally gave you, that's what you got to do. And we'll be back with more Truth, Justice, and the Youngevity Way on Dead Doctors Don't Lie after these messages.
When you perspire, working or playing, your body is losing more than just water. That's why it tastes salty. But what you're sweating out is more than just salt and potassium, as some sports drinks will have you believe. One of the most well-known sports drinks only has 2 nutrients, and it's loaded with sugar. Some have a mineral or 2 with a couple of vitamins. Youngevity's exceptional sports drink, Rebound FX, is chock full of cancer-fighting antioxidants, a full spectrum of vitamins, plant-derived minerals, and herbs. Rebound FX is a highly absorbable liquid supplement that gives you quick, sustained energy. Rebound FX supports cardiovascular health, immune health, and boosts stamina and energy. Don't short yourself during and after your workout with just a couple of nutrients. Drink Youngevity's Rebound FX for optimal health. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local Youngevity associate, and don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
With increasing rates of osteoporosis, it's becoming more and more evident that most Americans have low blood levels of calcium. Some would say,
I get all the calcium I need from dairy products.
Unfortunately, that's just not true. Besides, most dairy products are homogenized and can contain steroids and antibiotics that kill off good bacteria in the digestive system. Not to mention, the human body needs magnesium to make use of dietary calcium. That's why Youngevity developed Osteo FX Plus, containing bioavailable plant-derived forms of vitamin D3, calcium, magnesium, zinc, copper, and glucosamine sulfate. Osteo FX Plus is formulated to support healthy bones and joints. Not to mention, Osteo FX Plus tastes great, unlike other products that taste like chalk or dirt. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local Youngevity associate, and don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
You've listened to physician and veterinarian Dr. Joel Wallach help many people on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie talk radio program. You've also heard hundreds of people tell how Dr. Wallach and Youngevity products have changed their lives. If you're now convinced that Dr. Wallach is onto something and you want to try Youngevity's premium quality products for yourself, we can connect you with a distributor that serves your local area. Simply call our special helpline voicemail at 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call right now and leave your name, telephone number, or email address, and we'll see to it that the right person contacts you shortly. Remember, the phone number, 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call now to change your life. That's 313-444-3463.
We're back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie on the ZBS Radio Network. Dr. Joel Wallach here for Youngevity, 95 Crusade. We do have lines open. Give us a call. Toll-free 1-888-379-2552. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
Let's head to Texas. And Tommy, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Oh, Tommy, you're on the air.
Yeah, thanks for taking my call, Dr. Wallach. I got a question. I've had AFib most of my life, far back as I can remember. And I got on some vitamins few years ago, and the AFib went away for about 7 years. Then it started coming back on, and it'd go off, come back on, go off.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, it went off, and just stayed off, and then I started doing some of this here, what I thought was the right thing to do was some of these master cleansing things, and I think I depleted my body some minerals. Anyway, I wind up with pneumonia somehow or another, and I started swelling up, and they said diagnosed me with a congestive heart failure. Went into the hospital, and they run some tests and stuff and said I had blockage, and they did a triple bypass surgery on me. And the AFib went away for about a day, and then it came back, and it's still here. And
okay,
I also have...
Go ahead. You get one more here, because if we only have a moment or so, if you want some response, you're going to have to give me one more quick, and then we'll give you the program.
Okay, and then sensitivity. My digestion is not very good. I got food sensitivity. I eat stuff for a certain length of time. My body says I don't want it no more.
Okay, let's stop there. How much do you weigh, Tommy?
I weigh about 143.
Okay. All right, Shar. Here's a guy that has digestive problems. Okay, he has had blockages in his coronary arteries. He's had congestive heart failure, has a pneumonia, and AFib that comes and goes. 143 pounds. What would you do for this guy?
Okay, first, gluten-free diet, first of all. Then he needs a healthy brain and heart pack, and then he needs the de-stress for the AFib, for the congestive heart failure, and he needs the glucogel for the AFib.
Okay, what'd you do for the pneumonia?
Probiotic.
There you go, perfect. Okay, Tommy, I would go, as Shar said, I would go since, this is together here, congestive heart failure, clogged arteries. This could be very life-threatening and dangerous. AFib is a back problem. Pneumonia can kill you, okay, bacterial pneumonia. So I would go ahead and take 2 of the Healthy Brain and Heart Packs per month, full dose of everything twice a day. I would also get, as Shar said, the Ultimate Daily Tablets, take 3 of those twice a day. That's 1 bottle a month, and that's to support and promote healthy blood pressure and to support healthy blood flow through obstructed arteries, even the coronary arteries. I'd take 2 bottles a month of the Killer Biotic. That's 3 Killer Biotic capsules at breakfast and 3 at dinner time. And for the digestive issues, you're going to get a lot of benefit just from getting on a gluten-free diet, no fried foods or processed meats and oils. But I'd also throw in the Ultimate Enzymes. I'd go ahead and take 1 or 2 of those, say 2 minutes before each meal, with a couple ounces of water. And again, the AFib has to do with a back problem, and so Char was quite correct. I'd get you 2 bottles of the glucogel, so you can take 15 glucogel a day, 5 at breakfast, 5 at lunch, 5 at dinner, and they're designed to support and promote maintenance repair of the cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, in your case, the disc between the vertebrae, very, very important here. And one other thing for the congestive heart failure. What would you do for the congestive heart failure specifically, Char?
Besides the de-stress, you mean?
Perfect, de-stress, yep. I'd go ahead and take 3 of the de-stress capsules twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. Congestive heart failure is actually a deficiency of a single vitamin. We've known that for 300 years. It was discovered by a Japanese naval surgeon 300 years ago. And you're going to get megadoses of that one vitamin in the de-stress capsules. So I want you to take 3 of those twice a day, 2 bottles a month. We've had people on the heart transplant list for 3 years or on 27 prescription drugs. We got them on the same program. And in 5 days, their cardiologist, not me, their cardiologist took them off the heart transplant list, took them off 27 prescription drugs, and said, I don't know why, but you don't have congestive heart failure anymore. And so you can expect some results here, but you're going to have to be obsessive about taking the supplements. You're going to have to be obsessive about avoiding the gluten, the fried foods, the processed meats, and the oils. Give us a call every couple of weeks, Tommy, and we will walk you through this. Okay, Doug, how much time we have here?
About 0 seconds.
About 0 seconds. Okay, everybody. Don't forget my new book out, Epigenetics, the book. The new DVD, Somebody Needs to Go to Jail, my new CD, Public Enemy #1. They're an add-on to the Dead Doctors Don't Lie series. Well, thank you, Shar. Super job as usual. Thank you, Doug and Richard. Superlative job as usual. God bless each and every one of you. God bless our troops. God bless our Navy SEALs. And God bless America.
Hi everyone, Andy Anderson here. Are you using those handy little bottles of gel that zap germs, bacteria, and other nasties? In today's world, that's smart, especially with all the filthy doorknobs, shopping carts, and handrails we touch every day. Here's what you may not know. Once the alcohol evaporates, goodbye effectiveness. No more protection until you use it again. PureWorks to the rescue. Our FDA-compliant foam, lotion, soap, and spray do not rely on alcohol. Their killing power lasts up to 4 hours. PureWorks disinfecting spray is EPA certified to kill swine flu, bird flu, MRSA, HIV, hepatitis B and C, and a whole host of viruses and bacteria. Mold and fungus too. It's even safe around children and pets. You'll love the soft feel of PureWorks on your hand. It actually conditions and will not dry your skin. Here's a little peace of mind knowing your hands are still germ-free hours later. Get your hands on PureWorks and get PureWorks on your hands. Stand by. Pull out your paper and pencil for your local number to order PureWorks.